cup of tea. Not like first thing in the morning necessarily, but my hot drink of choice was tea. With like 2.5 sugars. If I had a coffee, which was quite rare, I would have 3 sugars in the coffee, nice and sweet, with milk. When I started getting into drinking coffee like more seriously, i.e. coffee being my drink of choice, I'd still have the milk, and I started cutting down to like 2.5, maybe 2 sugars. And then I was like, oh, yeah, let's just try it with 1 sugar, you know, but sugar's terrible for you. You have enough of it in your everyday foods. Let's try and keep it out of a drink that I consume like quite regularly. So I was like, right, okay, let's cut down the sugar to 1 sugar in my coffee a day. And now I have no sugar and no milk. I just have coffee as it comes, nice and black. Would it be nice with sugar? I guess so. It'd be a completely different drink with sugar and milk. Without sugar and milk and having it, you know, as it comes. It's just a nice wake-up call first thing in the morning. Anyway, enough of my coffee ramble. What are we here to talk about? We are here to talk about. I'm here to talk about what I've been watching lately. What I've been watching lately. What have I been watching? I'm going to tell you right now. Well, over the course of this video, I'm going to tell you. I'll tell you what I've been watching and a little bit about it, about the things I've been watching. Now, when I was younger, I'm talking like teens into my mid-20s, I was a massive, and I mean massive, movie fan. Like to the point where I would be buying DVDs, TV shows and movies like all the time. I mean all the time. I had well over 1,000 DVDs, maybe like 1,500 at one point. And now I watch maybe 1 DVD a year, obviously because it's on streaming devices and streaming apps, etc, etc. But yeah, I was just massively into movies and TV when I was younger. Now I'm a bit more selective about what I watch. I rarely watch a movie, like hardly ever. I say hardly ever. I do watch movies, but I'm more into TV shows. So that's pretty much what we're talking about today, just TV shows I've been watching lately. I think with a TV show, it's the fact that you can get into something over a period of time. Whether it be 6 episodes. So if it's 6 episodes, around about 45-50 minutes an episode, you're not shy of 6 hours. Maybe it's a longer series that has multiple seasons. If it is, then you've got, you know, maybe 4 or 5 seasons, which gives you lots and lots of content to watch. Okay, so lately, up until yesterday, I finished watching this program just yesterday on Netflix. I'd heard quite a bit about it, but not to the extent where I was like, I have to watch this. And I was like, let's just give it a go. Me and my missus have been watching a lot more stuff together. We're making more of an effort to watch things that I like, which has been lovely, to be fair. We recently watched all 4 John Wick movies. I'd watched the first 3 on my own at various points. Wanted to rewatch them all before watching the 4th one. Anyway, my missus said, let's go with Azzy. She really likes the Equalizer films. We watched the new Equalizer, Denzel Washington. I said, you know, if you like the Equalizer, you might be surprised and find that you actually like John Wick. We gave it a go. She cried like a baby for the first 20 minutes when the puppy is killed. Sorry, didn't mean to give away a spoiler there, but it has been out like a lot of years, the first John Wick. And then after that, she was just all about John getting his vengeance. And then she was upset when he died, when all them people died during the movies. Yeah, but great movie series. But like I said, she's been watching stuff with me, and we just finished watching Boy Eats Universe. Or no, that's not Boy Swallows Universe. Now this is an Australian show. You can't really put it in any particular category. It's family. It's a family show. Stroke. Comedy at times. Stroke. Crime or thriller. It's such an odd one. So this series stars Travis Fimmel. He's the only name I know from the programme. And Travis Fimmel was the lead guy in the Vikings in the first like 3 series. He was the main bloke. And I absolutely loved the early Vikings seasons. Like, it was so good. I didn't like it after he left. I tried to keep going with it, and I think the last like 2 series I just couldn't be bothered with. I'd be tempted to get back into it and give it another go all the way through, but as of right now I've got things to watch. We get Travis Fimmel stars in Boy Swallows Universe as Lyle. He is the stepdad to 2 young boys, and he's with their mum. He loves their mum to bits, but they both have their problems. His mum has had drug problems in the past, and it doesn't help that Lyle, aka Travis Fimmel, is a petty drug dealer. He's not when you think of drug dealers, you think of bad people. He's not a bad person. He really loves his family, but to make money for the family, he does deal drugs and do other stuff. And we have the 2 young boys. One is called Gus. He is the older of the 2, and he can talk, we chooses not to, and he hasn't spoken for a lot of years since an event happened in his life that sort of shocked him, I guess. So he talks with his hands, like he writes things out in the air with his fingers. And his brother Eli, who is plays a great young kid, absolutely great young actor, Australian actor. He sort of translates for his brother. And like I said, I don't want to give anything away with this programme. It's very much unlike anything I've seen before. There's a couple of shock turns, etc, etc. There's a good cameo appearance for, I forget his name, I only checked out the other day, a bloke who appeared in Cocktail with Tom Cruise. He is the bar owner in Cocktail, and was also in a movie my dad liked when I was younger called FX and FX2. But I forget his name now. And he appears in this series in a very good supporting role. Yeah, I strongly recommend this. I can't give anything away, as I say, but it is very, very good. And what else I've been watching? I've just finished watching Trigger Point with Vicky McClure. Trigger Point is a BBC. No, it's not. It's an ITV show over here in the UK. There are 2 series of it. I don't think there'll be a third. They've not left it open for a 3rd series. And she plays Vicky McClure. This is out of Line of Duty, and this is England originally. That's a great series, isn't it? Great program. This is England, and she plays a bomb disposal expert, and it just so happens that there is a gang in London setting off bombs everywhere. They're setting them off quicker than she can stop them. Like, honestly, I liked the show. I really did. The storyline was okay. It was a little bit like in your face, as though they were worried you might forget she was a bomb disposal expert. So therefore, they had to put a bomb in the program every 5 minutes just to remind you what her job was. Like, I'm not gonna forget if you want to give us a bit of story for 20 minutes. But she'd walk in a room. Oh no, there's a man tied to a radiator with a bomb around his neck. Walk into another room. Oh no, there's a bomb. And she was I mean, I'm no expert in bomb disposals. I've never done it in my life, funnily enough. But I have watched The Hurt Locker. The Hurt Locker is an amazing, amazing film with Jeremy Renner. And what's his name? Oh no, the one who plays the character in the Avengers. Oh, does he play Hawk? Is it? Or what's he called? Captain's mate. I forget his name now. He doesn't have actual superpowers, does he? He wears like a special suit so he can fly about. Anyway, he's in it, in the Hurt Locker, and it's by soldiers in Afghan, I think it is, disposing of bombs. Now in that, when an explosion happens and one of the soldiers is nearby and they take a bit of a bomb from it, they're forced to take time off and get themselves back, ready to go again. In Trigger Point, Vicky McClure's character, called Lana Washington, is involved in explosion after explosion. She's thrown all over the bloody shop. And at no point do they say, hold on, maybe you should take some time off. Lana, go and have a sit down for a month and come back when your head's not wobbling. No, she's back in on the job the next day. So that's a little bit over the top for me. It was a little bit forced, but overall I enjoyed the show. I wouldn't rush back to watch it, but I enjoyed it. I recently finished watching, fairly quickly to be fair, it didn't take me long to get through this because I loved the original show of this, and this was Gen V. Now, any of you who've not watched Gen V have probably not watched The Boys. The Boys is a ridiculously over-the-top TV show about action heroes, i.e. like your Avengers, so to speak. But these are not all good guys. Some of them are playing good guys, but in the background they're actually really bad guys. And it's so good. There's like 3 series so far of The Boys. But like I said, don't let your kids watch it. It's not an Avengers type show. It's just based on superheroes and saving the world, etc. But what would happen if superheroes weren't all good, basically, and they could do some like rude things? And it's just it's very over the top. But Gen V is a spin-off show of The Boys, with the idea being they set to take college or university or whatever or just a school for young superheroes trying to find their way in the world, etc., etc. And then they graduate from said school and then get called up to the team. I forget what the team's called, but the team that feature in The Boys, basically. And that show was great. Gen V, I can't give anything away because, in all honesty, it's too hard to explain. But it's like X-Men. If you've watched X-Men First Class, where James McAvoy obviously plays Charles Xavier, but it's not Charles Xavier as we know him in the original X-Men movies, where he's got the school, but he's really about the X-Men now. It's like Charles Xavier with the young students, and when he's not younger himself. So imagine that. But imagine if some of the X-Men could do some very wrong things as opposed to just making the weather rain and stuff like that. They can actually do some very naughty things. Yeah, but it's a great show, Gen V. Really, 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 really good. If you like superhero shows, then I'd recommend Gen V. You'd have to watch it before The Boys. I'd watch The Boys and then Gen V. Well, that's 4 really good series for you right there with The Boys and Gen V. Apologies, guys. What else am I watching? I started to watch, and I've watched this before, and this 5 series, that's why I've got back into it this time, because I wanted something good to get my teeth into. And the last time I only watched the first series, and I'm currently on the first series again. And it is called The Man in the Iron Castle. Now, I keep picking really difficult things to explain to you guys. The premise is it's set back just after World War II in America. But it's like history rewritten, i.e. the Americans in English did not win the war. In this series now, the Germans and the Japanese won, and they have split up America. They've taken over America and split into 2 halves, basically. You got the German side and the Japanese side, and they coexist. They don't fight against each other, but they work together in keeping the Americans sort of under their control. Then the Americans work for the Japanese or the Germans. And there is a group going around making videos or movies that show a different reality to what we're seeing in the series. It shows that the Americans actually won, and they need to get these movies out to the wider audience. But obviously the Germans ain't letting them just get away with this. The Japanese ain't letting them do this without any consequence. It's a great show. It's different. I'll give it that. It's very, very different. I'm just nearly at the end of the first series now. I said there's 5 series altogether, and that is something I'd recommend. You can get that on Amazon Prime. I'd definitely recommend watching that if you like shows that are a little bit not your norm, basically. On top of that, I recently watched, what have I been watching? I need to get, I started on Reacher again. Yes, that is what I've been watching literally just yesterday. Jack Reacher. So, eventually got a spin-off series. There's now a second series out on Amazon Prime. I watched some of the first series. Now here's the problem I had. So I read the book that the first series is based on. I can't remember if it's the first Jack Reacher book or the second, whatever. I read the book and then like a month later I started watching the show. I knew the storyline like word for word. I was like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to watch something that I've just read the book of and I already know where the story's going. So I packed up after like 3 episodes. And then now the second series is out. This was like well over a year ago when I read the book, maybe 2 years ago. So I was like, right, there's a second series. Maybe if we watch the first one, we'll have forgotten what happened in the story. And that's what happened. I'd forgotten most of what happened in the book. So I started watching the first series again yesterday. I'm 2 episodes in. It stars Alan Richardson. I think they say Richardson. And it's a great program. I say great. It's a very good program. A lot of action. And yeah, it's really good. It plays Jack Reacher. Again, surprise. Who turns up in a town called Margrave in America. I don't know if Margrave is a real place, I doubt it is. And just as he turns up, 2 dead bodies turn up literally the night before he rocks up in town. And he's just sitting in a diner minding his own business, having some breakfast or whatever, and he's arrested straight on the spot for these murders. He's like, I've always turned up here, how can I have murdered somebody already? And so begins a really good story. Yeah, I definitely recommend a Reacher if you haven't already watched it. Maybe you're well ahead of me and watched the second series already. Well guys, if you enjoyed this video, let me know. We'll come back and do some more of these, what I'm watching or what I've been watching. But next time, I'll actually have it wrote down so I can keep track and give you a bit more detailed info on different shows and movies. But if you've been watching anything that you think I like, anything that's interesting I may not watch before, let me know in the comments and I'll check it out. Thanks for watching guys, hit that thumbs up and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you all again very soon, bye bye.